What does figurative sculpture mean to me? It's been my life, but it hasn't always been my subject.
Robert BODEM, I think he's a great teacher. I find really helpful. I think he's very clear and straightforward and explains stuff in a very simple way.
Oh, it's a great maestro. I've been following for a long time. This guy is great. This guy knows how to anticipate you, reads you, and adapts to you.
Uzun zamandır takip ediyordum ve çalışmalarını çok beğeniyordum. Workshoplarına katılmak istiyorum, Florence Akademi of Art'a gitmek istiyorum. Sonra fark ettim ki aslında çevremde de bunu isteyen çok insan var. O zaman buraya davet edelim deyip yazışmaya başlayınca BODEM fikri de doğmuş oldu.
Well, hello everybody. It's nice to be here. We decided to set up the room like this. It was actually Gozde's advice. Sculpting the human body is extremely challenging. It's very complex. You get lost. You don't know where to go. You don't know what questions to ask. I've taught hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students and just watched them stand there going, I don't know what to do anymore. And that could be at a second day. So these are these two elements that I begin with. I call it an egg because that's what my teacher taught me. And in reverence to my teacher, I kept it being called the box and the egg. These two elements to then incorporate the quality of the model's body type. These decisions will be your sculpture. I'm going to pass them around. This is the element that's more planar. It's more like a gem on how to start with the rib cage. It's the contrapposto pose. Counter, it means counter posing. So you're tipping both in opposite directions, but this line of weight in the center is remaining in equilibrium. This is what I think my present is for everyone, is to try to keep it simple. So how I do this is I ask myself from the front, so I'm looking at the front plane of her rib cage and her pelvis, it's facing me. I'm looking at the tip to her pelvis. So the first question that I ask when I'm starting to sculpt is, what is this doing? I look at one angle. She has a really strong tip. Is what this is doing, this center line. So I think, and they work together because they're connected by the spinal column. So
I really like how he explains the process and the structure of the figure and breaks down the human figure into these really basic forms and how they're moving in space. And once you understand what that structure is, you can build the human body on top.
This would tell you, well then the bottom of the rib cage should be doing this. Understand here is this board, you're then going to use this board.
Farklı sanatçıların bakış açısını görmek ve onların dünyalarına girebilmek insanın yaratıcılık sürecine çok katkı sağlayan bir şey bence. Hem çok iyi bir heykeltıraş hem de bunu başkalarına nasıl öğreteceği konusunda da mesai harcayan biri. Kullandığı dil ve anlatım biçimiyle bilgisini karşı tarafa çok iyi aktarabilen bir sanatçı. Bence çok değerli biri.
It's given me many reasons to go on, a paradigm, a motivation, and fuel for a long time. Great guy.
If the question also is about, the idea of traditional work compared to today, when you see a lot of contemporary work and the differences between them, I think that the idea that there is reconciled in that the art world is so vast and the options to people are so open that one doesn't have to just pursue figurative work or one doesn't have to pursue abstraction. What I think today in today's contemporary art world, I think that there doesn't need to be a conflict between the idea of pursuing figurative work or contemporary work because the options are open to all of us. So I don't think one is right or one is wrong. And that's a whole nother kind of discussion about what art is for people and what it means to people. I answer that in a very simple way. I think of art as more of an emotional thing, that something that you almost can't control. It's an emotion that is a viewer of your work is going to have with your work. You hope that people connect emotionally with your work. You can't please everybody in the art world today. So if you think about the eventual audience of your work, everyone out there in the world today that's an admirer of work or likes to look and come and view sculpture, painting, or installation for that matter, it's their emotional response that is going to determine if it's art, because it becomes art to them, and that's all that's important, I think. You should be true to your vision and then put it out there in the world and see how people interact with it. So I'm careful about calling myself an artist. I call myself a sculptor and hope that you're going to help people have an emotional response to the work.